behind us, and December around the corner, we're entering into the heart of the holiday season. When you think of the holiday season, what do you think of? You think of going to parties, you think of going shopping, buying gifts, spending money, getting gifts, more parties, more food, some adult beverages. While this is all enjoyable for us, it also can spell trouble for those people who are trying to eat healthy and watch their weight. So what I'd like to do today is to talk about a couple potential problem situations that are lurking around the corner and give you some practical suggestions for how to deal with it. Okay, so let's start with the first potential problem situation. I call this one the holiday pig-out syndrome. Example. Whenever the holidays come around, Maria gets the green light to eat whatever she wants. Doesn't pay attention to watching her calories, what she eats, what she drinks. The holidays are here. We can eat what we want. Green light, go ahead. Now, while this is fun to do, what happens in January, you find you put on 5, 8 pounds. And most of us in here aren't 20 years old anymore. It's a lot harder to get the weight off than it was many years ago. Maria, as a runner, it actually takes to run a marathon to burn up 1 pound. That's how much it takes. So my recommendation for anybody who has the holiday all-or-nothing mentality is to first catch it if you have that mentality, and to try to think more, eating in moderation, eating your normal, usual, healthy diet, but include occasional indulgences in your diet. But just don't go nuts and eat everything. You do it in discretion. Okay, the second potential problem is the opposite mentality, and I call this one the martyr syndrome. Sahil, last year, gained so much weight over the holidays that he vowed to be on a strict diet this holiday season. He's bringing in carrot sticks to munch on in the radiology area while his coworkers are snacking on cookies and chocolate. So what's the problem with this mentality is that I think most of us know if you totally deprive yourself of things all the time and you don't allow yourself little treats now and then, that will almost always end up in binging. So I think it's important not to tell yourself you're going to be on a strict diet during the holiday season. Allow yourself treats on occasion, but in moderation. The third potential problem would be tempting goodies in the office. Jocelyn, in her law firm, I'm sure, gets a lot of gifts from clients, chocolates, cookies, whatever. And how tempting is that when you just have these boxes of cookies and chocolates all around you? No matter what room you go into, there's more chocolates and cookies. You can tell I'm obsessed with chocolate. But how do you handle this situation? You keep thinking about it because you're there. I mean, there's a couple of things you can do. One would be to allow yourself to have 1 or 2 little treats a day and make it permissible. But for some people, probably somebody like myself, once I started with chocolate, it would probably open the floodgates and I would keep eating more. So if that's the kind of person you are, I probably would suggest that you don't even start with the chocolates. Just bring in healthy snacks, yogurt, little string cheese, whatever, apples, so you don't start in on the chocolates if that opens the floodgates for you. I would also suggest that you try to keep these goodies away from your workspace. Don't keep them in sight if possible. The more that you're looking at them, the more likely you're going to indulge in them. And if you know that they're kept in the kitchen, don't keep walking into the kitchen. Just try and stay clear of it. The last potential problem, I'm sure most of us will experience this, is the holiday party. Typical scenario. James knows his tan supermodel is going to be at the party. So he decided to starve himself all day so he look especially trim in his tight pants. He eats almost nothing all day, just maybe an apple. Goes into the party. Once he gets it, he's famished. He's grabbing Daniel's mini cheese puffs that he bought, Larry's mini quiches, all the tempting goodies. He dives into the hors d'oeuvres, starts drinking. Edwin keeps pouring more and more alcohol into his glass, more wine, and James keeps drinking because as a supermodel, he wants to gather up his courage. Before he knows it, he's quite drunk. He's sharing a little too much information with his fellow Toastmasters. And he goes home and ends up eating pizza when he gets home at night. So what's the problem here? When you know you have a party coming up, you don't want to not eat all day long. That's the worst thing you can do from a food standpoint and from an alcohol standpoint. You should have something to eat before you go to the party, so you have a little something in your stomach to also help absorb the alcohol if you drink. Make sure you're also hydrated, because being hydrated helps you to handle the alcohol better. And try not to sit next to addictive snacks. If you love nuts, don't sit right next to the nut bowl and keep eating. Try to maybe start off with healthier appetizers, if there are any there, or hors d'oeuvres. The worst things would be the little pastry puffs, Swedish meatballs, the things that are really fattening. Pace yourself with the alcohol. Maybe try and alternate alcohol with water. And the next day, get back on track if you overdid it. So in conclusion, with the holidays coming up, I've gone over some potential problem situations. Hopefully you've gotten a few tips from this. You want to enjoy the holiday season. This isn't the time to diet and really beat yourself up, but try to eat in moderation, because we all know how hard it is to get the weight off once January comes. And with the Toastmasters party coming up in 2 weeks or so, you'll all get the chance to practice these tips at the party. Thank you.